Friday. Thank you so much. I really know who my closest friends are. People who turn up for the session early morning on a Friday, that too after a really wacky party last night. Thank you so much. You are my closest friends. I'm going to like you all on Facebook. Is that all right? Thank you and welcome again. Well, this session is about the recently launched Dynamics 365 for Marketing, which can help you connect your sales and marketing operations. And I am Ananta Ramachandran, the Global Product Marketing Lead for this application. This session is going to be co-presented by my wonderful colleague, Shailesh. Shailesh, introduce yourself, please.
I am Shailesh.
Well, Shailesh is a heavy hitter in the R&D team. Before we begin, by show of hands, may I know how many of us in this room already use Dynamics 365 for sales? Oh, wow, that's about 80% of the room. That's good. How many of us have heard about Dynamics 365 for marketing or have already started trying it or using it? Ooh, that's nice. Sweet. Thank you. Well, what we want to do during this session is absolutely ensure that you walk away with enough value to help you take the next steps for your business. Right? So here's the agenda that we planned in our mind for this session. We want to talk about what are the key business challenges that marketing teams face and give you a high-level overview about this recently launched application. Right? And then Shailesh will come and share information about what has been available in this application since the April 2018 release, and what is going to be available starting with the October 2018 release as well. And then we'll have enough time for Q&A at the end. We will take about 3 questions at the end of each of these sections, right? And also have a detailed Q&A session at the end of the session. So please make sure that you're engaging with us, you're asking us the right questions, because we absolutely want you to walk away from this session with enough information about Dynamics 365 for marketing and help your business align sales and marketing. Does that meet your expectations? Up, down? Is there anything else? Sounds good? Yeah? Right? Thank you. Let's crack on. Every business wants to grow. For it to increase revenue, you need to increase demand as well as close more deals. However, the marketing and sales team face several challenges when they try to do that. Here are typical symptoms that marketing teams face when they try to increase demand. Symptoms such as they don't have enough leads. Even if they do, they are not able to nurture them into a sales-ready state. They don't have any visibility about what happens to the lead when it is handed off to a sales team. Hence, they are not able to track or improve their marketing performance. These are typical symptoms that many marketing organizations face when they try to increase demand. If any of your existing organizations face these, that's when you know that a good marketing automation solution can help you. In addition to this, it's important for businesses to align their sales and marketing operations. Well, there are tons of public stats that highlight the importance of this aspect, as articulated by the stats on the screen by CEB. Well, about 57% of the purchase decisions are made even before the prospect speaks to the salesperson. So if a salesperson says that buyer's journey, that's a marketer's responsibility, they need to rethink that, right? And about 49% of the sales representatives ignore more than half of the leads that marketing campaigns deliver. What a waste of time and effort, isn't it? And then only 8% of the B2B companies feel that they have aligned sales and marketing operations. These are challenges that may inhibit the sales team from closing more deals. So folks, when you hear your team members or colleagues talk about any of these symptoms, that's when you know that a marketing automation solution can help your business turn more prospects into business relationships. To help such businesses facing these problems, Microsoft offers Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365 is the suite of business applications which are modern, unified, intelligent, and adaptable. We have business applications for every function in a business. As you can see from the screen, We have an application for the service team, for the sales team, for the operations team, for finance team, and talent team. And voila, we have applications for the marketing team as well. Right? From Microsoft Dynamics 365, we offer two solutions for marketing teams. One is our partnership with Adobe Marketing Cloud. The second is the recently launched Dynamics 365 for marketing. So many of you may want to be maybe interested in knowing how do I choose between Adobe and Dynamics 365 for marketing? Is that a question in your minds? Yeah, I see some nods. Yeah. So let me help you here. See, if you're a large organization running multiple product lines in multiple geographies, you market to more than 1 million contacts, and you need really advanced capabilities to personalize at scale, capabilities such as signatures or video marketing. You may have seen these in James's session yesterday. If you're such an organization with such high volume marketing operations that need advanced capabilities, we want you to consider Adobe Marketing Cloud. If you're a business that needs a marketing automation solution built on the same Dynamics 365 platform, right, to help you increase demand and close more deals and align with your sales operations as well, we want you to consider Dynamics 365 for marketing. So, high volume operations to more than 1 million contacts and advanced capabilities, consider Adobe Marketing Cloud. If that doesn't fit your bill, you could always consider Dynamics 365 for marketing, but start with Adobe Marketing Cloud, for it may help you. However, if you're an organization that markets up to 1 million contacts and needs a marketing automation solution on the same Dynamics 365 platform, consider Dynamics 365 for marketing. Does that help? Yeah, I see some nods, thank you. Well, this session is just going to focus on the recently launched Dynamics 365 for marketing. What is this application? Well, it's a marketing automation solution for any business that has outgrown basic email marketing needs. See, most businesses, when they start with just acquiring marketing lists and then sending irrelevant email blasts. They turn out to be a spamming engine in the minds of their leads and customers. And then they reach a level of maturity where they want to attract leads from many sources and nurture them to a sales-ready state and align with their sales and marketing operations. So if you're a business that has outgrown just relying on basic email marketing alone, and if you're looking for an integrated sales and marketing automation solution, Dynamics 365 is very compelling for you. It can help you turn more prospects into business relationships. Well, it can help marketers nurture more sales-ready leads, align sales and marketing, make smarter decisions, and grow with an adaptable platform. Because it has the product truth that can help the marketer to run multi-channel campaigns and also nurture leads with a personalized buyer's journey. We also have event management capabilities included within the app. Because sales and marketing apps are built on the same platform, the common data and connected business processes drive sales and marketing alignment. We also have some embedded intelligent capabilities like segmentation and ability to score leads and prioritize leads who are ready to buy. We also have out-of-box dashboards that will help you track and improve marketing performance. We also offer a lot of interactions insights that can help you track and refine your buyer's journey as well. So these are the product capabilities that can help you achieve these high-value marketing functional outcomes and help you propel your business. Before we dive deep into the capabilities, we have lots of time in the session today. We're going to give you a lot of information about how to use this application and how to drive some of these outcomes. But I wanted to lead with showing a quick overview video that'll give you a high-level overview about this application.
Dynamics 365 for marketing helps you plan, automate, and monitor the full customer journey as prospects travel from discovery through nurturing and onward to become marketing qualified leads. You can run automated email campaigns, plan and promote sales events, create interactive online forms, generate and score leads, collaborate seamlessly with sales, and much more, all in one place. In this video, we'll observe the customer journey as seen by three personas: the marketer, the salesperson, and the customer. Let's start with the marketer. Marketers can quickly create captivating bulk emails with the designer tool. They can drag content blocks from the toolbox, stylize content, add text, add graphics or images, merge fields, and more. The designer provides a preview feature that lets marketers see how the message will look in different devices and orientations. The marketer sets up a customer journey by arranging tiles on the canvas to create a sequence of customer touchpoints and actions. She establishes who will receive the marketing communications, the content within each contact point, and when each message will go out. The marketer does one final check on the email before the journey goes live. Marketers can create lead scoring models that score each lead based on actions such as email opens, email clicks, event registrations, website visits, and more. When a lead reaches a sales-ready score, a salesperson can pick it up. Now let's experience the journey through the eyes of the customer. The customer receives an email offer to join an early access Xbox Live Creators program. She opens the email and clicks the registration link. The link takes her to a landing page that the marketer designed and published using Dynamics 365. The customer enrolls in the program by providing the necessary details and then waits for the next steps. Soon afterwards, she receives an email confirming that she has been set up for the program. The email also has helpful links to onboarding videos and some other related pages. Now, let's see the marketer's viewpoint of the customer journey so far. Here's the lead that's tracking the customer's interest in the Xbox Live Creators program. The marketer can see that her score has increased because she's opened the email, clicked a link, and submitted the registration form. We can also see that this customer spent time browsing our website, and that increased her score too. At the top of the lead, we can see that the lead is getting hot, so it's time for the marketer to send it to the salesperson for acceptance. Now, let's flip to the salesperson and learn how he views the customer's journey. The customer appears on his dashboard as a qualified lead that the salesperson can follow up with when the time is right. Dynamics 365 for Marketing helps you orchestrate interactive customer journeys that send the right messages at the right time and automatically nurture your best prospects. Then, it closes the loop by forwarding qualified, information-rich leads directly to sales.
Was that video useful? Got a high-level overview? Thank you. So many of you may be asking, there are tons of marketing automation solutions in the market. What's our unique value, isn't it? Well, we have some really compelling differentiators. Because Dynamics 365 for Marketing and Dynamics 365 for Sales are built on the same platform, the folks, sales and marketing, they share a living relationship. It's one platform, one data source. So both the sales and marketing teams have the latest and complete information about leads and customers and contacts. You could also set up connected business process flows for driving common sales and marketing processes like automatically handing off leads to sales team, driving follow-ups, and things like that. So it's that single platform, single data source that enables connected data and process, helps align sales and marketing, and that's a huge differentiator. You don't need any connectors or any APIs for exchanging data. Anytime you need to exchange data, you know there's got to be problems with that, right? We all have faced that. No more hassles because it's all on the same platform and same data source. That's a big, compelling, unique value for a lot of our customers. We also offer certain unique capabilities. Like many competitors require you to purchase a separate event management solution and pay for it, and that's not connected to your marketing automation solution. So you all go to events, connect with leads, and you're not able to follow up after that, right? That doesn't happen here because Dynamics 365 for Marketing includes, at no incremental cost, the event management capabilities. So you can organize in-person events or digital events through our integration with webinar providers. So you can run your events and nurture them using the marketing automation capabilities within the application. And we also have additional capabilities like our integration with LinkedIn, which is pretty compelling as well. Folks, if you have a target segment on Dynamics 365, you could use this LinkedIn integration to match the audience in LinkedIn and use the LinkedIn solutions like LinkedIn lead generation forms to run targeted ads for your audience. And once you generate leads for those ads, right, you can bring those leads from LinkedIn back into Dynamics 365 and nurture them within the campaign setup you have within Dynamics 365. Right? Another compelling integration capabilities. We all know the power of LinkedIn, right? The amount of business profiles and B2B marketing that's possible in LinkedIn. Well, we also offer interactions insights. You have real-time information about how each and every step in your buyer's journey is performing. You don't have to wait for an end of month or a bi-weekly report to know how many people came to your website or how many people opened your emails or things like that. You have real-time interaction insights, and Shailesh will show all those things in his demo. And it's also very easy to configure and extend. We have lots of partners who can help you make it work for your business. It's very easy to use as well. We offer lots of tools and templates for things like email, helping you create emails, helping you create marketing pages, surveys, and also we offer a lot of templates for helping you set up buyer's journey for various needs, like a buyer's journey for an event versus buyer's journey for just any product launch or things like that. Again, it's all hosted on the secure, trusted Microsoft Azure cloud. These are some of the compelling, unique value that we offer to a lot of your customers, which will help you realize your business outcomes as well. Well, as you heard from James during his keynote, we are going to be releasing an October 2018 update pretty soon, right? And then we are happy to announce that Dynamics 365 for Marketing, which was released in April 2018 in about 11 countries and 8 languages, is bringing to you fundamentally 3 big things, right? First, it's going to be available in another 128 countries and another 33 languages. So we are expanding the availability of this application to more countries, right? Second thing is it's bringing you very compelling capabilities as well. Shailesh will walk us through what are the new capabilities that will be added to this application. And then the third thing, the most interesting thing, is that we are also offering a more attractive price. So Dynamics 365 for Marketing, starting from October, new customers will need to pay only for contacts you will market to using this application. Any business will have like millions of contacts, right? You will only market to a portion of those contacts. Customers will only need to pay for contacts that you market to using this application as well. It's a huge differentiation as well. Many competitors make you pay for all the contacts in your database, or there are additional ways in which they make you pay more. You only truly pay for contacts that you engage through a marketing application. Here's more specifics on pricing update. We have different plans. So if you're an existing Dynamics 365 customer with a customer engagement plan and more than 10 users, you can start using Dynamics 365 for Marketing at no incremental cost. You can market up to 2,500 contacts. If you want to market to more contacts, you can always buy the add-on packs as well. If you're instead a customer with just one of the Dynamics 365 customer engagement application, right, you get to use buy this application at $70, and you can market up to 10,000 contacts. Again, it's not all the contacts in your database, only contacts that you market to. Right? Instead, if you're starting with this marketing application as your first workload in Dynamics 365, you use the third offer that you see on the screen here. Again, you can use these base offers based on whether you're an existing customer or a new customer, and you can add on more contacts to be able to market to more contacts. All this information will be reflected in our web page, starting with the October release as well. Well, that was a very high-level overview about what are the marketing challenges and a high-level overview about how our Dynamics 365 Marketing can help you address those challenges, and some updates about what's coming in October release. At this stage, before we move on to showing you a detailed demo of how to use the application to achieve these outcomes, I'd like to at least take like 3 questions, if you have any on the positioning guidance or on the pricing updates and things like that. We will have a detailed Q&A section at the end, but if there are any questions before we move on to detailed demos, I'd appreciate that. If you have like 3 questions on high-level overview or pricing, feel free to come to one of these mics. We can take 3 questions right now at this stage. Any questions? Yeah?
So if you say that you're pricing based on the number of contacts you market to, and say you're marketing to a contact this month but not next month, is it going to affect how you are being priced?
So when, as a marketer, you would need to forecast your need for not just for this month, right? It's always good business sense to make purchase decisions based on your needs at least a couple of years out. So you don't buy the app based on your current need for this month. So as a marketer, evaluate your organization, where it is strategically heading, what are its expansion plans and things like that, and have a hypothesis of here are the maximum number of contacts that we may be marketing to in the next couple of years, and make a purchase decision that's commensurate with that.
I guess what I was asking was, if I don't market to a particular contact, will that contact be counted towards 1,000?
Yes, yes. It's an annual contract, so you will have to factor in the maximum contacts you would reach out to during the year. Yeah.
Is the pricing per tenant or is it per instance?
The
It's
the pricing model is based on
It's-
total number of coins.
Instances in your tenant, how is it per tenant or is it per instance?
it's per tenant. It's at the customer level. It's per tenant. Yeah.
That's correct.
So I know these people use these words interchangeably. So it's at customer level, which is a tenant, or an organization. Are these the ones that are used interchangeably? Yeah.
So specifically, if you are using multiple instances on a tenant, you can split your contact quota across.
Yeah. Yeah.
For testing and test stage and
Yeah.
develop stage
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
productive. So it's 3 instances.
Yeah. 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 So one more question before we move on.
Can you easily upgrade? So say you think you only need 10,000 and then in the end you turn out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the question was whether we can easily add on more contacts to your marketing operations, right? We saw that we offer add-on packs as well. So you buy the base application that gives you the ability to market up to 10,000 contacts, and you can buy add-on packs based on how many you truly need for your organization. It's very custom. So that's what we want to make sure it works for every type of business that's requiring the solution. Okay? So thank you. I know we'll have like more time for Q&A at the end. So folks, we are very excited about this. The entire Microsoft organization is pumped up to actually launch this marketing application. We truly believe that we can help you turn more prospects into business relationships and help you drive digital transformation in your organization and help your business grow your business. But stay tuned. Shailesh has got a lot of information about the cool stuff that's available in the application and what's new. With that, I'll be back. Shailesh, take it away from here.
Thanks, Ananta. So I'm going to spend some time trying to walk through some basic scenarios, trying to build a journey and explain you the feature set that comes with the base application. And then I'm going to give you a quick view of what's coming up, both in terms of the features and how they can be applied. And towards the end, I'll just give a quick snippet on how we can use extensibility to target or customize this application for very tailored scenarios, depending on your customers. So I'll start off with a pretty dense slide. It's many features put together as part of this app, but it'll help you understand how all of them intertwine together to achieve a business scenario. So the core of this marketing app is the orchestration, which is multi-channel campaigns, multi-step orchestrated. Now, of course, to build a campaign, you need multiple things in there. You need to have segmentation in there on whom to target. You need contents, what is the messaging you want to send, and orchestration around when to send these messages. All of these campaign orchestration ties up together to generate leads. The whole goal of marketing is to generate leads, and that to qualified leads, which sales team likes to use for closing the deals. So that's the objective of marketing. Now, the marketing app understands this vision and the business challenges and intertwines all the feature set around this. So as we'll walk through the demos and scenarios, we'll see that whole objective of having easy to use campaigns, easy to build campaigns, easy to monitor these campaigns. And the end goal is always a lead which generates a score and qualify the score to move over to the sales handling. So this is the short summary of what the marketing app does about it. And then let's just go through some of these row items in the slide. So first and foremost is the multi-channel campaigns. We do email marketing, web pages, forms to be submitted, and of course to create contents which are required for such campaigns. You have easy to use designer, and we keep on improving the capabilities on how to design by bringing in reusable content blocks, easy to use, see marketing calendar. So all of this is around building campaigns and being able to execute well. And then on the lead nurturing, we have got lead scoring models that can be applied on these leads, and multiple of such models can run. When I say lead scoring model, remember that there are two types of basic data set that you use for any marketing behaviors. One is the demographic or transactional data that you have got on your database. Like for example, who is this contact? Which industry are they in? Where do they reside? Now, these are the data sets that you have available in your database. The second set of data that comes is from during the course of marketing campaigns, you have certain interactions or behavioral responses. Did you open my email? Did you click a link? Which link did you click? Did you attend an event? Now, all of these is what we call interaction data. All of these facets of marketing app, be it segmentation, be it lead scoring, or be it insights, work across both of these data sets. And this is achieved by using a high volume interaction data store, so that we can really ingest all this data and still synthesize it for the business scenarios. So segmentation, again, it's a very simple example might be, give me a segment of all the people who have attended any segment in last year, but reside in East Coast area, for example. Now, this is an example of a segment where I'm mixing up transactional data and interaction data. Now, this is key to a marketer's focus, like how to decide whom to target and what kind of personalized campaigns you want to run. What this tool achieves is doing a mass personalization, even though you are creating a single email, but you can leverage all of this to slice and dice your data and personalize those email campaigns as you go through the journey, marketer's journey. So this is in short the campaign area. Then the other important angle to cover is event management. Typically, leads are generated from form submissions or event registration. So these are two very, very popular channels for generating leads. Our marketing app gives the event management capability as part of bundled as part of the marketing app, not a separate tool which runs as a silo. It's all baked in together. And event management or event scenarios don't run in isolation. When you run an event, you also want to evangelize the event few days before the event runs. You want to send reminders before the event happens. Post-event, you want to get feedback on how the event was. Maybe generate more interactions by giving them a link to the recordings or some more artifacts. And through all of these interactions, marketer learns a lot about their prospects. Like what were they interested in, what kind of links they clicked. So event management is bundled as part of the tool because there are a lot of synergies and lead generation that opportunity that comes from event management. So this is a quick overview of the marketing app, and then I'm going to walk you through some of these areas, and we'll also jump into the demos to show you through how this works out. So I'll just first take a scenario. So this is basically two personas in there. Ryan, who is a marketing manager, and they want to run a campaign, and it's a banking scenario where you are trying to engage them to take a mortgage to buy a home. So that's the scenario that I'm taking through. And another scenario is the content. Another persona is a content creator, Amanda. So I'll just walk you through the feature set using this. So the first goal this organization has to just attract certain segment who reside in certain cities. That's the first business goal they want to do, evangelize this whole offering they have got. Secondly, they want to partner with top brokers and agencies to popularize the solution through different channels. And finally, using targeting and event management, all of these marketing tools that are available, they want to optimize the conversion through all of these. So these are the goals that this organization has got. I'm going to bake through the demos through the story in there. So first thing that we see is the whole campaign orchestration piece. This is the center stage. That's where all the feature set combine. You start off typically with a tile panel that you drag and drop and build this flow. Now the beauty of this whole concept is that as you think, as a marketer thinks about a flow, what they want to do, they can just design in this. And as this whole thought process breaks in, they can add contents and other pieces and polish it up. As the campaign progresses, they can monitor the same on the same canvas. And I'll show you this through a quick demo. It will be easier to relate to on the whole concept of the design paradigm. During the course of designing this campaign, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that every marketing channel comes with certain behavior interactions. Like email is all about knowing whether somebody opened the email, whether links were clicked. Events are about, did somebody register for the events, did somebody attend that event. The website of pages are about, did you visit that page, did you submit the form. So everything that you communicate outside via campaigns, you want something back, and that's used for segmentation and lead scoring, and also designing the flow itself. You might want to personalize or change the flow of a campaign based on these outcomes. For example, imagine a scenario where somebody registered for an event but did not actually attend it. Of course, from a marketer perspective, these are very, very ripe targets to focus on, like somebody who were interested in to register but did not attend. Now, these kind of, both of these data set combined, you can do a rich segmentation and combine it as part of a flow itself, that maybe we need to give them the information about the next event coming up. So that's a business scenario that you handle it, but the whole marketing provides you tool sets to do that kind of things, and very easily. And I'll show an example when we do the demo. And this designer is not just about the journey pieces. All of the content pieces also come via designers, and these are interlinked together. The marketer can seamlessly navigate from the journey builder designer into any content designer, whether you want to design a marketing page, or whether you want to create an event, or whether you want to create an email. All of these are sort of have a very easy to use designer experience which seamlessly navigates back and forth across campaign design and other designers. And as you build the campaign, the same canvas can be used to monitor how it's going in a very easy, intuitive manner and do a drill down into each insights. Like for example, on the screenshot that you see, it is helping me understand how the flow is going through the campaign. And if I want to drill down into any of these special tiles, for example, if I want to know how the email has been behaving, I just can drill down from here. So now this is something which makes very easy for marketer to understand how their campaigns are going. So with this, I'll just get into a demo, and we'll talk through some of these things. So this is the starting view with a dashboard. So I'm seeing as a marketer what journeys I've got live, how my team has been building these journeys, some quick stats on how many live journeys, how many journeys is passed, like something to start my day with. And with this, I'm going to just get into building a journey. So first thing that you'll see is that all of the canvas starts off with a concept of a template. So here I'm going to see some out of the box templates that I've got to create my campaign. I'm going to pick one at random, but of course at organization level you can add more templates to your organization, whatever scenarios might be. So your team sees customized templates for your scenarios. So I'm going to take one template, and as I pick the template, I see some flow has already been created. So in this flow, I've got my first tile as a segment, which is targeting my customers. Now, the segmentation, as I explained, and I will build through a segment scenario as well, is about targeting. It can use different facets like transactional data and interaction data to build this segment. So you can use a combination of, like for example, in this scenario that we were describing through, I would use a segment of people who are residing in New York and Seattle as a segment, and I can combine these segments together easily on this canvas. The second step in this journey is getting into the email. As soon as the flow starts, the bunch of contacts who are part of this segment get this particular email. Based on the outcome of this email, like in this case, I am using a property called registered because email has an event page where people can register, but I could use other properties as well to define these triggers. So here, for example, I'm going to use the trigger on registered, but I can use some other source as well to go through. So this is a live journey. So so here I used trigger registered. I can use opens or clicks on this events on email, and similarly I have gotten CRM activity to follow up. Like, you know, I'll go through the toolbox tiles quickly. So here I had first step was email. I checked if the contact registered for my event, and then as a follow up I have a call set up. Now, of course, in terms of general marketing, it's probably a very aggressive campaign where I'm picking up the phone very early. In reality, what you're going to do is probably send a follow-up email on this. And if somebody did not register, maybe I want to do another, you know, negative path where I say that this will be a reminder email in there. So what I'm doing is, as I think through, I use a template to quickly craft my flow, and I'm using quickly to build up my campaign as I think. Now this is about the flow of the campaign, where I'm deciding the overall strategy, how I want to get to this campaign and reach out to multiple segments and different scenarios as they go through. Now let me just go through quickly through some of the other tiles as well on this panel. So I've got marketing email that we used. We'll come to the marketing pages. There's another content in there where these are the website which can have forms in there, and I will go through a quick scenario to help you understand, but I can bake them as part of my flow. Then we have got events. We'll come through that in detail later on. Interesting thing is activities. These are phone calls and tasks which are available on CRM, and that's where the connected journey comes in with sales. Like, for example, these calls and tasks can be assigned to salesperson from marketing itself, so that the relevant account manager or salesperson can pick up in their dashboard that, you know, this is the call I need to make. Similarly, we can extend this system by invoking workflows as part of this journey. Like, and these are very well proven extendable CRM workflows that come as part of the platform. By invoking at any step, you can hook up to different systems. Like, for example, if you want to upgrade the loyalty membership, which resides in a totally different system as part of some of the step, you can just put in there that at this point the trigger would be sent to invoke a workflow. So these are some of the, you know, different tiles that are used to create actions, and then we have got some orchestration pieces that help in. So scheduler is something which helps you put a gap in there. So what I do is between the first email and second email, I just put in a scheduler as a gap, and maybe this will have a wait for, you know, I can put in a wait for say 1 week here. So this is the way you build the journey out across different things. Trigger I already explained. Trigger is sort of with every marketing communication or the outbound activity, you can set up a trigger which helps you understand what the behavioral response for that particular channel was. So this is a quick view on how to build a journey, and I will go through the content building scenarios, and then we'll just flip back into this demo as well. So I went through the campaign creation scenario, but now you need contents to really bake them up. So this is where the capabilities of the marketing app comes in. While it has got a nice, you know, drag and drop designer which helps you easily build out all of these contents, it helps you see how it will look across different devices. I mean, in today's world, you want to make sure that all your templates are responsive. They show up well on, you know, different devices. And we also have a litmus integration which helps you see how your email is gonna land across 80 plus inboxes, like, you know, different clients. So this is a very, very, you know, powerful tool for marketers to be able to understand how it's gonna land up in your inboxes. As you saw in the campaigns, emails also come with rich set of content templates. So we have, you know, we ship some 40, 50 templates in there, and they can be sliced and diced by different purpose, different pivots that you can use. But of course, the whole idea is that you will extend it for your own scenarios, for your own organization, templates that work for you. So this is again an extension point for the marketing app, where you can add more templates based on your organizational needs. And this is the most critical piece of a mass marketing. You want to make sure that you can leverage different data points that are available on your system to personalize and customize these emails. So all the relationship and entity that you see that come up as part of your data set can be used in there. So you can use a very simple example would be contact's first name as an example, but more complex example might be that you have some custom entities and data set which can be used. Let's assume that there's some business information in there. You want to make it part of your communication. So if I take this home buyer scenario, maybe I want to use their credit score levels or something like that to give a very personalized communication. And this can go all the way into very advanced personalization, where you can use scripting and do if then else and for loops, etc., as part of this customization. So these are very, very powerful capabilities to make sure that your campaigns are very, very fine-tuned and personalized towards your audiences. Very similar extension is on segmentation side. Like, it uses the built-in relationship entity that we have got, but you can also extend it. All of these can be used for segmentation. Another example of this kind of relationship where it keeps in handy is give me contacts from all accounts who belong to automobile industry but are based out of Seattle area. Now in this, I have traversed through multiple relationship and entities to get to a business scenario. The segmentation and lead scoring, all of these work of Azure, high volume data store, which helps us scale better. All of these data points, both transactional and interaction data, are part of this interaction store, and we run all our computes on this interaction store to be able to scale better. It helps in all of those insights, lead scoring, as well as doing the segmentation. You can design dynamic segments, and it's very easy and intuitive to design for a marketer itself. They don't have to depend on, say, IT department or persona to pull a complex query. All of these are very easy to design, leveraging the entities that marketers are very familiar with, a contact fields, accounts, all of these things which they are very familiar with. And of course, the whole purpose of segments is to be used within a campaign, and it allows you a very easy intuitive interface where you can just drag and drop tile and embed multiple segments within the journey and combine them in various ways to do it. I'll get you through a segment demo as well to explain. So let me just flip back into the demo for quickly show you the two capabilities that I just talked about. So what I'm going to do is start off with an email, and so what I can do is I can either look up an existing email, and I see a bunch of emails in there, but imagine that I'm not interested in any of them and I'm jumping off to a new email. So as you can see, what I'm doing is doing a quick create within my campaign to get me started, and as the record is created, I jump over to another designer. Now we have jumped from journey designer into the email, and I see templates coming up here. I can look at them by purpose, and let's assume that I want to do some event countdown as an example. So I'm going to pick up this template and use it for building my contents in there. So I see, as the power of template comes in, I see something already crafted for me. I can drag and drop different portions to build up my things. The interface to edit is very, very familiar, something like very much like Office thing that you're used to. I can add in different pieces to it, like I can add in an image in there, provide a link in there. So this is very, very similar. The design paradigm is very similar across all the designer, be it journey designer, be it a form designer, or be it a lead scoring designer. All of these follow a very simple, easy to use paradigm. Now, this email comes with HTML editor, as you see, and the beauty of this is that you can bring in existing template from your other tools in rich text, and if you do it the right way, they are just seamlessly built and baked into this email, and you can continue using your email designer for rest of the edits. So that's hybrid model is very powerful. This is something which I talked about the preview. So as I can see, I can see how the template is going to look like in various devices in there. I can get into the layouts and see a quick check on how it's going to look like, and and we can go forward and do a inbox preview using Litmus, and that's the slide I showed through. Now this allows you to understand how it's going to land across multiple inboxes, and that's very important when you talk about such campaigns which have emails in it. You want to be very, very sure that it's going to look great on all sort of devices. Otherwise, your open rates, etc., are going to plummet down. So this is in quick, view on how the email designer works. Let me also add in one more thing that I wanted to show was around dynamic editing. So as I go in there, you see that I can pull in some more data sets. So here, for example, I'm taking in contact, and with contact I can see different relationship that is got. I can go into account, or maybe I can use the city to personalize. So in this case, what I've done is quickly I've personalized this contents using one of the data sets that we have got available for contact set. So this is a quick view on the email, and similarly I can do a quick view of the segments. So this one is a very quick view of the segment. I have not built it completely, but as you can see, I've got a query model where I'm using the address city is New York as things, and you see some of the operators that are come in there that allows me to do union, exclude, intersection, and combine different data sets. So one example might be that I can combine data set of where you live with your behavior. For example, did you open any email in last 3 months? Now, all of these data sets can be combined together on segmentation in various ways. So I went through the whole concept of building a journey, segment, building contents in there. Then we come to the next stage. Once your campaign is live, what is your end goal? Your end goal is to generate leads, and that too qualified leads. So this is what we cover under lead management. The starting is you score everything. Like you give weightage for various things. Like imagine if there was a form submission and the title happened to be vice president versus a manager. Maybe you want to assign a different score. Maybe you want to assign different score to regions where your products are already popular versus where you want to do a newly launched. So you can use different pivots to score them, and all of these scores go along with to generate your leads. As a lead is generated, you can see the scores and how they are being scored, and you can use multiple scoring models to try out different things to make it click for your sales team. Now this is a very, very powerful connected marketing sales scenario where you can take feedback from sales team to tune these scores, run multiple such scores, and finally leads show up a score and you can qualify. From a view perspective, while of course for marketing you see all of these interactions and how it has been scored, the same view is available for sales persona as well. So when they get a qualified lead, it's not being just thrown over the fence. They can actually see that it was scored against these models, and these were the interactions, and these were the data points on how they were scored. And they can easily see a timeline. I will go through a demo in there where you can see a timeline of when these interactions are. So when the salesperson picks up the phone, they actually know what emails you have been interested in, what events you have participated, all of these as the fingertips to close the deal. And when you the same info is available on sales app, like for the sales persona, because it's the same database that we live on. It's not a separate connector. So all of this data set is available. And since as part of the platform, we also can use business processes across all of these. So if your organization process has different things happening over the lead, some things happening from the marketing department, something from the sales, everything is interconnected via a business process in there. So with this, I will just go into a lead for a moment, and then we will come back to the events. So here I got a lead open in there, and first thing that to notice is that is the whole concept of the business process, and this is customizable as part of the platform capabilities. Here is going through a lead process where it the lead is groomed and matured, goes through different stages. Now some stages are part of marketing departments, and some stages are part of sales cycle, but it's an integrated business process that you see on a lead. You can see some key metrics on the leads, like how long the aging has been on the lead. But this is the critical part. All the interactions that have led to this lead being qualified with a certain score, these are visible very easily on a timeline, and I can see them how they have been. And for example, salesperson might be interested to see most recent interactions to decide how to take conversion forward. You see a nifty chart with all the breakdowns of what the interaction has been. That also helps to understand what kind of persona you are treating with, whether they prefer more of your brochure kind of interactions versus they would prefer a personal call. So all of this helps salesperson understand how to communicate and what to communicate. So this is a very powerful tool in the connected story around sales and marketing. So with this, I'm going to flip over to another aspect of marketing. So we covered through building a campaign, generating leads. Now I'm going to cover through a different aspect on event management. Now this is another rich source of lead generation. We handle both on-site physical events, basically with a rich data model of venue, resources, speakers in there. We also do webinars with On24 as a out-of-the-box provided integration. And webinar capabilities are now sort of open, and any partner could build more integration with your preferred webinar provider. The events come with the out-of-the-box portal, which is very easy for you to sort of manage event management, registry for registration, attendee portal, seeing the sessions in there. So that's again very handy in there. Of course, the whole objective of events is to be used in campaigns and journeys. So you can use event as a tile within a journey, and you can get the similar interactions just like email had open and clicks. On events, you can use registration and attendance. Now this is on the campaign, you can use this. You can use it for segments. So these are the different flavors of how you can leverage events in overall marketing campaigns. I'll flip back to a quick demo on events. So I've got so this is an event page, and I'm going to use one of the events in there. So this is be an aware home buyer. This is the name of my event that I'm trying out. And you can see certain organization, like I've got some general information, what kind of format. So it is a general physical event. I can see how many days are left for it to go live, where the venue is, what kind of sessions are planned as part of this event. You can see a calendar view or a session view. I can see how many registrants are in there. And with this, we also have a wait listing coming up in there on the check-in, and I'll go through a quick demo on how this works out. So here I have got the same page as a participant, and I'm going to try to register for this event. And as you see that we have the waitlisting capability on the event, and it shows that it's already reached the maximum capacity. So I'm going to still try to register myself as a participant, and the waitlisting would happen for me. So here what I'm doing is using the capability to register. So I've used the, okay, the typo. So anyway, so here you can see how the wait listing shows up. So as I wait list, the different entries will show up as a wait list. And as the space becomes available or the capacity increases, you can configure it to automatically, go and become part of the registrations. So you can see the wait listing configuration I've got here is it allows registrations to be done, and it has got maximum constraints of 5, and the wait listing is happening at the rate of 1 availability per slot. Sometimes you want to have more wait listing than actual capacity at a different ratio, and automatically registers the waitlisted contacts as the capacity becomes available. So this is a quick view of the events in there. Another capability that I did not touch on the actual campaign building was around the whole concept of forms. So now that was a specific to events registration page. Now this is a generic form that you can see, and here, for example, I've embedded the form in a external website content management using our form designer. And the form designer is, the form is like, basically you get a certain script that you paste in your external web page based on what you create, and with that, what you get on the campaign itself is all those interactions of form submission and other things which you can use it for lead generation, segmentation, and other things. So this is a quick view of how you can embed forms into external content management. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. So it's so the forms that we build out are quite simple, and the JavaScript and everything you can tweak it around. So it will also depend on how you embed in your content pieces. So it's a combination. Mostly they should work out, but you might need to tweak out, and it's very easy to tweak. I can take a few more questions on what existing capability I covered. It was a long overview. Okay, so we'll move ahead and just quickly go through what's coming up in the upcoming releases. So the key themes for us to, So key themes for us is to focus is, we as you saw, like we collect a lot of data, a lot of interactions, rich data. Now, all of this is very, very rich, and we ship out of the box widgets and dashboards as part of it. And I can quickly show you through some insights in there to just go through how it's going to look like. Sorry. So the campaign that we were building, I'm just going to go through in, sorry, I'm having a, okay, yeah. So this is back to the similar campaign, and as you can see, like I've got, insights showing up on the same journey canvas. So here I see, 46 people have joined as part of this journey. They went through this. At the trigger point, there was some sort of branching in there. Some went on the top yes path, some went on the no path. Now, for a marketer, it's very easy to spot out if something is wrong on these things. Maybe your number of people who open the email is very less than what we expected. So this gives me a very easy drill down into where to focus on. So maybe the reason is my email wasn't crafted so well. So I can see quickly on the right panel in there, and I see the KPIs that are needed, like how many were delivered, how many opened, and I can quickly go through all of this together. And then if I want to go deep dive more, I get into the email insights. Now I see again very similar look and feel. I see some key statistics, number of unique opens, didn't open, subscribes. All of these are available in a very easy to use fashion. I can go through different things in there. Also see how the contents have been received. So this is what we call heat map. It helps you to understand how your links have been clicked as part of your content, and this helps marketer draft better communication for future by just seeing which placement of which link was more popular. So all of these are insights that we ship as part of, out of the box. Now with this new release, what we give is ability to do your own dashboards as well and embed them back onto your marketing app. Now imagine that your, marketing manager wants a certain view which is not available in the out of the box widgets. You can craft your own dashboards using Power BI and get them in there. We also bring in social insights, which helps you see how your campaigns and events are faring in the social world. You're able to take particular keywords and monitor them and see it in the context of your marketing journeys in the campaigns and events. We bring in more enhanced personalized marketing. One of the key things that we bring is the flavor of B2B with account-based marketing. We also improve the content editing with the reusable content blocks. So these are the blocks that you can reuse across emails, and you can also do some sort of production model on these blocks where you want to have certain persona or certain type of roles to be able to access to edit these blocks, and while other regular marketers don't edit these blocks. I'll go through some example on this later on. We also bring in more deeper LinkedIn integration. We bring in video marketing in there as a content in there. So just like the way you were able to drag and drop text block on email, designing an email, you could drag in a video as well. This helps you sort of enrich the experience for your recipients by having richer content and being able to influence them with content which will appeal to them. Of course, we focus on fundamentals. We have improvements on performance and scale across, and usability based on the feedback that we are getting from our customers. So that remains a consistent theme across. So with this, I'm going to run through some of the key feature set that are coming up soon. Our rollout is due in October, and we are on track, and you'll see all of this feature light up as you get your upgrades through. So account-based marketing is more, B2B marketing. So I built up this scenario of the home buyer scenario. Now, the scenario that went through was targeting individual, but imagine that you want to do with, businesses like, broker houses and agencies. Now, in that case, you want to do a focused account-based marketing. It's not important on who the individuals are, but you are more taking a view of how your accounts are performing, like whether a certain company or organization is interested in your email. So now this requires taking a full view of the email marketing, which is typically received by a contact, but aggregating and viewing them at an account level. I'll go through some of these paradigms with a quick demo, but the key things that you built in is that when you do a segmentation, you want to have a view of whom do these accounts belong to. In the sense, for example, I want to know every contact, are they coming from what kind of businesses? When you do build your customer journeys, you want to build based on these accounts that you want to target. As the journey goes through, all your interactions and triggers are based on accounts. When somebody opens an email, you want to pivot it on whether this account is interested in that email or not, and the account can consist of multiple contacts. Similarly, each of these insights you want to see lead score against an account, not against a particular contact, because at this point your marketing is targeting organizations, not really individual contacts. Now that's a very big paradigm shift in the way you market, and it's very, very critical for B2B scenarios. I'll go through a quick demo on this one. So let me just switch over back. So this is my journey with, which is account based, and I'm already starting off with on the inside, it's a live journey, and I'll walk you through different aspects of this journey with respect to account based marketing. Now, first thing that is about is the segmentation. So now we see, as part of my contacts and segments I have built, I also see the accounts they belong to. And since all of these data is available for my segmentation queries, I can use things like, which segment do they belong to, which kind of, what is the size of the account. All of these can be combined in segmentation to focus on certain type of accounts, and only the contacts that belong to those accounts are part of this journey. So that's at the first level where you do the segmentation. The email that you sent out, so typically you see all of these data and insights based on how all of your contacts in there. Like for example, I see 36 contacts have been delivered the email from the original journey. But the good thing now is that since account-based journey, I can easily do a view of my specific organization that I'm interested in, and all the data and KPIs would pivot based on that. So what it allows me to see is how am I doing against that account, rather than just plain view of entire journey. Now this is very, very important for B2B scenarios in there, to be able to understand everything in terms of accounts. The third one is the lead scoring. This one is a lead score based on accounts now. So just the way all your segmentation was based on accounts, all the insights that you were trying to do was on accounts, lead scoring also can be done based on accounts. So in this case, I have a lead scoring rule where I'm trying to focus or giving extra points to my top accounts by saying that I have got some preferred accounts on which, if I see some interaction, I would give them higher weightage. So think of it as, in your account segmentation that you have built in, you have got high value accounts and low value accounts, and you provide more weightage to valuable accounts. So an email open coming from a low value account will get lesser points, while an email open coming from a higher value account will get more points. And this is how you sort of go through lead scoring to build up your leads at an account level. So I went through the concept of account-based marketing. With this, I went through the demo, and this is another important aspect that I covered earlier by able to do dashboards in there. So the way it works out is that you can bring in your own blob storage where all of this data, transaction and interaction data, can be pushed out. On this blob storage, you connect. Once you have the connection done, you see all of this data in there. With that, you can build all your Power BI reports and dashboards on top of it. For example, this is a quick POC on how we can build using email interaction as well as the transactional data and building on the blob storage. So this is a very, very powerful tool, and ultimately the value that comes in is there that these dashboards can actually be put in back into the app. Like you can embed in your dashboards as you need in the life cycle of your marketing cycle. Yes, I can take a question. Yes, yes, it's a high volume interaction store. Yes. Yes, so ultimately the reason is that the interactions can, multiply a lot. I mean, even if you take a journey of 500,000, contacts going through 6 steps, every step has got 4 or 5 interactions. Take email, for example. I've got opened, clicked, link clicked, bounced. You combine them together, it becomes large volume, and you cannot put this back onto CRM database purely for architecture and scale efficiencies. We also introduced in social insight as part of our marketing experience. This is something which you can do on campaigns and events. You can take certain keywords and branding keywords, or let's assume you're organizing an event. You can see how it's trending. Your event name is trending on social media based on your marketing campaigns. So this is based off the social listening capabilities that we already have. If you're aware of them, this goes through multiple social channels. Yes. We also bring in a deeper LinkedIn integration in this release. So the key part is that you can run campaigns on LinkedIn. However, you can also provide the guidance using matched audiences. What you do is build up an account or a segment on marketing app and give this as a guidance to the LinkedIn. And LinkedIn does its match audiences to find the similar audiences or same audiences in their experiences and show them these ads in there. The interactions are fed back into the campaign, and you can do triggering based on how the responses was on LinkedIn. Now, if you see, we are bringing in rich interaction data back into the marketing app to be able to use for various things, be it branching of the campaign or lead generation in there. The leads are also brought back into the system. So the LinkedIn integration gives you all the richness that you need for doing refining your segmentation and bringing in the leads in there. We also add in videos I mentioned before, like as part of your content builder in emails as well as marketing pages. You can add videos to your as an entity and records, and then use it on your email or content designer in there. It is extensible to provide across multiple video providers, and we are going to add this more capabilities in the videos. Right now it is still in preview. It will remain in preview until we bake it out. So with this, we have gone through the upcoming things. One message that I want to leave with is that this whole app is built in a very, very extensible manner. You have multiple things, something coming from platform, something the way we have designed to extend it and tailor the app for your scenarios, your needs. I mean, very, very simple things like, you can customize user roles, and for personas who do not want to see, maybe it's a very limited role that they want to play, you can customize the sitemap to not show them extra, features. You can use business process to simplify all of these entities. You can build all these templates, email and journey templates to focus on the scenarios that you need. You can create custom entities, relationship, which can be used on dynamic content, scoring, segmentation, all of these aspects. And I covered Power BI dashboards briefly. All of these combined together can yield a very, very powerful and tailored app for your businesses. Okay. So with this, roadmap on, again, the themes that we are going to focus on: intelligence, personalized experiences, leveraging more on connected Microsoft stack, extensibility, opening up more APIs, and of course fundamentals. So the one thing that we look out over a couple of releases is bringing in more and more AI working over the data sets that we have got. So with this, I think we can move into a quick Q&A. Please go ahead. So the question was on deliverability of emails as part of email marketing. So we have a distinct email deliverability team which manages this. We do not use standard, say, Office 365. We have a separate email service which is managed, and we work with many ISPs and providers to ensure that we have the right protocols, everything deliverability is maintained. That's at the one level. At the other level, it's all baked in the product. As you build an email, before you go live with an email, it will validate. There's certain checks and nuances built in. Like, for example, you must have a subscribe or some unsubscribe element in your email. Some of these things are built in as part of the product itself. And as you see, our insights and dashboards are very, very strong and powerful to be able to easily spot if something is not going through. And our email delivery will work through to make sure that all of these are kept high. Of course, across multiple customers, we need to manage that at a very, manage our reputation and everything. So deliverability is a very, very top priority for us. So the question was around deduplication. As a part of a journey, we already do a dedupe. So if a segment has got, if the multiple segments are being combined as a part of a journey, nobody will get a duplicate emails. And this is very customizable. You can use different dedupe methods, on how to dedupe. But essentially, we ensure that nobody is sent email twice as part of the same campaign. So, so the threshold is not just in terms of limits of volume of sense, it's also about scenarios. Like, depending on your business scenarios, you can see our capability set. In terms of volumes, of course, you mentioned 500,000, right? That's easily handled by this tool. So the question was around subscription center. So we have a out-of-the-box subscription center that comes up. So of course, as a marketing tool, it's important that you don't send out any emails without having this. So we ship a subscription center that you can configure, customize. You can also build a subscription center yourself. So there are different ways in which you can extend, but you can get to a good start right away out of the box. Sorry. I'm not very much familiar with the specific regulation talking about, but we are totally GDPR compliant. We allow double opt-in and other things in there. It's sort of, I believe it's at par with European norms. We can take it offline, but as you saw, like, in our, we do have GeoIP information as well.
So then on the customer journey and segmentation, I guess what I'm understanding there is that basically the campaign entity and the marketing list entity that exist in Dynamics today, that's kind of like, don't need to use that anymore if you're using this.
That's correct. I mean, the marketing app has its own entities, and they are, different because they work off a different system, or like as I said, like the interaction store is what is used. It's That's correct. I mean, both of them come with their own richness in different scenarios. For marketing apps, the segment and journeys is what we use.
Will there be an improvement in the import wizard for leads that you bring into the system so that it can either match up with existing contacts, and if they're not in the system, then create a lead and then add the lead and the contact in two separate marketing lists?
So segmentation pieces come via the CRM platform. The import or whatever you do is platform capabilities. From our side, the way we do is the dedupe mechanics, for example, we ensure, and you can have more custom solutions and workflows running to maintain the data quality of your contacts. So no, we are on the same data set. So if you're importing contact on the platform, it's just the same thing. So we don't need to do anything special on marketing app.
There was a question.
Please go ahead. So it's very easy to create a segment of a marketing list. So the way, think about it is that, marketing list is an attribute, and you can create a query on that attribute, saying that whoever belongs to this particular marketing list is a new segment. So it's quite a, the scenario is pretty common where you have existing data set on marketing list, so you want to leverage. Of course, over time, probably you will move over to segments and segment query, but to start off, you can leverage marketing list on the journeys via segments.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to be available after this session as well for any questions or any other clarifications. But we'd like to close by saying this. Thank you for being Microsoft customers, Dynamics 365 customers, and especially a shout out for some of the customers who've already started using Dynamics 365 marketing or trying it out. Thank you so much. Within Microsoft, we're absolutely pumped up and excited and passionate to leverage this new application to help businesses turn more prospects into business relationships, right? So we now request you to either, if you're not started using this application, go to our webpage and start using the trial application for free, get to know the application, and start thinking about how you can use this to drive leads for your organization and drive demand generation for your organization as well. Well, we have a lot of, if you're an existing customer and if you're already trying the application, right, we have lots of user guides and help documentation available here. You have the link right there. And if you have any questions, we have a Dynamics 365 for Marketing focused community forum. Right? Please feel free to ask questions or review answers in that. Our entire team is very eager to help you learn and use the application to drive success in your organization as well. You could also contact Microsoft if you have any questions on pricing or how to buy this, or if you want to connect to a Microsoft expert or a partner near you as well. Again, thank you all. I'd like to close by saying that we really want to enable every business to achieve their business ambition. Dynamics 365 for Marketing can help you turn more prospects into business relationships. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the conference.